Right, and this one is the making the filling for the chicken pie. So if you watch the three, it all makes sense in the end. I did three. I did biscuits, made pastry, and made a filling for the pastry for a chicken pie. So I've put them into three separate videos because it would have been too long with them all together. So I've done them now. I'm going to upload them and then it's done. I am a finisher, completer. I do like to get stuff done and dusted, and then it's not on my mind then. That's me makeup, that's who I am. So I'm 54, can't change. Well, I wouldn't want to change it. I'll get them done and dusted and then boxed off, and then it'll be done, won't it? Happy days. All right, bye guys. So my pastry's in. So all I've done is, remember this mushrooms we bought? So I've sliced my mushrooms. Now last time I did it, I used two stock cubes. I'm not going to use two, it's too salty for me. You could use two. This is just chicken stock cube. Now I didn't buy any of these, but you could have it as a store cupboard. I'm not trying to be a flake, but you know, what did we spend 45 quid? It's a work in progress, and I hope you'll come along with me. I know some of the things that you might not have the ingredients for, but if you go out next time you shop and you buy flour, you'll have it, won't you? Or you buy some stock cubes. I appreciate people are on a budget. I am myself, so, and as I say, it's took me a while to get this all sort of, you know, together where I can just go to the cupboard and get stuff. Just keep your eye out for things that are on offer. You know, if you've got to do, you know, go a bit further or go to a few more places and get the bargains. That's what I do. I mean, I'm fortunate that Abigail will take me if I ask anything. I know a lot of people haven't, and some people might have mobility problems, you know, and if you order online, you don't often send what you want. I remember ordering everything for a roast once and they missed something off, and I thought, well, what's the point in that? Do you know what I mean? Something like potatoes. You know, can't you substitute potatoes? Surely you can. Anyway, I digress. So I'm going to do it anyway. So what I do is I'll get me pan, and then I'm going to heat that up. That's my pan. They've got them in Asda still. I think they're about 14 odd pounds. So I just heat it up, don't I, for 2 minutes on a high heat. If you've watched me before, you'll know that. It just protects it. I told you to rate the first one, and this one, it really, really works. I didn't get this lid with it, but at the moment in Asda, they've got pans, the Teflon. It's not that one. It's more like a 9-y one. But if you use plastic with it and not metal on Teflon, you'll be fine. But they've got the Teflon ones that are about that size, maybe a little bit smaller, £10. Not bad, is it? So you could get that. Abigail, when we were in Asda today, she wanted to get one of these. And I said, the only thing is, love, you don't get the lid on it. Anyway, I looked a bit further down and said, what about that one? And she said, yeah, that's perfect. So, same pan, just I had this lid off another pan that I bought from Asda time gone by, and as luck would have it, it fits perfect. So, that's been on for 2 minutes. So all I'm going to do is put some water in there. Obviously it's going to be hot, so don't burn yourself. Oh shoot, not that much water. I'm going to let that come up now, heat up. Still on the high heat. My short crust and my cookies are in there. And then I'll show you. So there, while that's heating up, so I got a full chicken. I told you the one I got from Sainsbury's, and I've stripped it. Now this, you could freeze it and you could make a soup from that. Freeze it, you could, then you boil it. It's got to be for about 2 hours on a low heat, and then you can add some like leeks or anything into it to make it a stock. I just added the stock cube when I made it, but I'm not going to make soup this week, so I'm not going to keep that, because I'm going to buy another chicken, so I don't want to end up with a load of chicken carcasses in my freezer. I haven't got the space. But you could, and that would work really well. So I didn't add vegetables, I just added the chicken stock. I boiled it for 2 hours, maybe a bit longer. Just, it said keep taking the scum off the top, but there wasn't any, to be fair. And then I drained it off, kept the actual water, and then I made a soup with chicken, and then I flung my vegetables in. Do you know what I mean? So, because I didn't want to chuck the veggies away. So that's what I did. Because when you do it and you put the veggies in, say you put leeks in and stuff like that, you then chuck them away. Well, that's not cost effective to me. So there's me chicken. That's me whole chicken. I stripped it right off. See, and that's what that'll last me for ages. And I get a week out of that. Albeit, I'm not telling you keep chicken for a week, but I can my constitution. And then what I do is I drain me juices off my chicken, which are there, and I use that as part of my chicken soup. Now I would freeze that. You could put it into ice cube trays or just put it in a bag, but I'm going to keep that because I could use that for something else. So, but me water's just heating up now. I'm not supposed to, so I'm going to put me mushrooms in. Just put them in there like that. And then I'm just going to let them cook down for a bit on a high heat. Not bubbling, yes. I'm going to use my onion granules. I've got the wrong one out. Garlic granules. I've got onion granules out there. I'm always going to use ground turmeric. And we went to a fair yesterday. They took me to a little fair in Port Sunlight. And these were, I got Jordan one and I got me these two. So, Alexa, stop. Right, I'm going to have to pause you because I've got to check my pastry. Alright, the truth's form, it's not cooked. That happened last time, didn't it? Do you remember? My cookies are nearly cooked. So I've flipped them over. I always turn them over. And they'll have another 5 minutes. But they're nearly done. So that's gone back in. I've drained some water off me mushrooms. Because I put too much in. It's just, I made a mistake. And I can't say I didn't because I did. So I'm just draining a bit more off. So, see, I've drained it off. There's a tiny bit in the bottom there. I've still got it on a high heat. Sometimes I get it wrong. I can't remember everything, but as I say, I'm not perfect, am I? So they're just cooking down. So, yeah, I was talking about these. So they're called, they did loads of spices. It's a little company, and they're called Great Northern Spice Co. They're cooking down. I'm going to lower that right down now, but mushroom. So this is buffalo hot rub and seasoning, so that's the one I got. And then harissa with rose medium seasoning. So I'm going to do them with chicken, but one that really caught my eye was this one. Got like rose petals in. Anyway, have a look at them. Great Northern Spice Co. they're called. He said if I scan the QR code, it would give me some recipes. I don't know whether I'll get round to doing that, but I just wanted to give them a shout out. So it was like, I think it was 5 each or 3 for 12. So I got 3 for 12. Jordan got one as well. He's took that home with him. So there, I'm going to do on my chicken, but I haven't even had a smell of them. So, oh, it smells divine. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. And these last ages. Oh yeah, now that's a bit pricey for what I'd normally pay to get my spices from Aldi normally, don't I? But I thought little treats, don't go out to places like that often. So, right, I've just cooked them down. You see, there's no water on them now. So, just gonna, I'm having a faff, guys. I'm having a faff. Just gonna get some do. I don't know. I might put a bit of them in, you know, be a bit risky. That buffalo one sounds nice. Garlic granules, salt, natural sweetener. That goes a bit against the grain, but hey ho, you know, it's only the 80-20 rule. Don't know what the natural sweetener is. Chili powder, black pepper, smoked paprika, cumin and onion powder. I'm going to put a bit of that in. Just like how it smells. You know me, I'm not traditional, am I? So, I'm going to, as well, now add to the mix some of me juices off the chicken. So that goes in the pan. Add as little or as much as you want. I've added half of that. And that'll cook down. And then my little stock cube that goes in. I'll just snap that up like that. These are funny, these ones, because they're not they're like them moist ones, so they're not sort of a crinkly like an OXO, are they? That goes in there. Hide it up a tiny bit, you know. And then what else did I put in last time? I've lost my train of thought, guys. Take that up there like that. Garlic granules. I'll show you what's in the pan. Garlic granules, plenty of them. Onion granules, plenty of them. And then I'm having some of that, so I'm just dipping some. I'd say it's not your traditional chicken pie, but when's anything I ever do it traditional? And then, as always, it's gotta be your turmeric. Good for you. It's good. I tell you why it was recommended to me, because when I got poorly in October, and I mean, I'm a hell of a lot better than I was. I'm just going to give that a stay. I was sleeping, like, if I sat down, I fell asleep. I was off work for a while. Probably went back too quick, but I didn't. I was cracking up. And then I just could not keep my eyes open. Every limb was aching. I had pain in my stomach, pain in my back. Still got that now, but it's not. I know when to rest. You know what I mean? Like, once I finish this today, I'll be taking myself off to bed. Don't get me wrong. So and then I had a referral through work, and she said to me, make sure you take turmeric and black pepper. So I've always been taking my turmeric since then. But yeah, there was you don't know whether I had COVID or I started off with a really dicky stomach and it just wiped me out. And I'm a hell of a lot better than I was, but they still not got to the bottom of it. Something, there's loads, and I'll tell you another day. But anyway, it's too long a story. I'll tell you another time about it when I actually do a video about it. But I just wanted to say that turmeric is good for fatigue. It's meant to be really good. There's loads of other health benefits, but that's why the nurse recommended it to me, because I couldn't function. I just couldn't. As I say, as soon as I sat down, I fell asleep. But I was hunched over and everything, just had no energy whatsoever. So that was that, really. Went off on a bit of a tangent saying, but you know me. So what I'm going to do is, I've got the stuffing from the inside of the chicken. So some of that's going in. So I'll just break it up like so. Break it like that. Because that gives it loads of flavour as well. And that's got salt in as well, so you have to be mindful, don't you? Not because of salt, but because it can just become a bit overpowering, can't it? If all you can taste is salt, and it makes you dry. So I just put, and I'm generous with the chicken. Alexa, how long left on the timer? The time. I'll have to pause again. My base biscuit's going to be. So there it is. I've used 2 breasts of my chicken in there. As you can see, mine's going to be a spicy chicken pie, but you could just use your chicken stock and your chicken cubes if that's what you wanted. So I'm going to put the lid on that now, and it's right on the low heat, and I'm just going to let it cook down a bit. And the reason the lid's on is because it's not going to dry out. The steam's going to go up. So yeah, Dan, I've lost my train of thought now, guys. So just let that cook out, and when it goes, it'll cook out a little bit, but it'll also, when you put it in the pie, it'll mush down. It's almost like a shredded chicken, but it does that on its own. But I'll leave that there for a while. Just keep my eye on it, and then just let it sort of do its own thing and cook the spices out. As I say, you could put something else in it. It doesn't have to be chicken, does it? You know, or you don't have to use mushrooms. You could use leeks. You could use anything. You could use anything at all. Yeah, but that's how I do it. So I'm back to my cookies. Well, just a little bit overdone. Not for me, not for my liking, but for anyone else. But no one else is going to have these because these are my breakfast. So that's a little bit Alexa, stop. Alexa's going home. 10 to the dozen. That's for the pastry. That's on its way. So really got the taste of the orange coming through in them. So I like them. I'll show you one. Now for that, they were in the top of the oven. Normally I start them on the middle and I have them on gas mark 4. But because I'm using one oven to do two things, they were on 6 and they were at the top because the pastry's in the middle. So, but I still did the 20 minutes. I should have took them out after 15 and then flipped them over. And then I done them for another 5. Because normal is, they're on gas mark 4. I cooked them for 20 minutes in the middle of the oven. And then I put them to the top, flip them over, and I turn it up to gas mark 6 and do them for another 5 minutes. But it's trial and error. It's still gorgeous. So that's fine. So I'll take a picture of them. That'll be going on a separate video. As I say, it's going to be 3 videos, but I've had to just do a bit of a mishmash. Never mind, eh? Right, the pastry. I put it on gas mark 4 in the middle of the oven. What's that? Oh no, gas mark 6 in the middle of the oven for 20 minutes. As it said, not cooked. So I put it on gas mark 6, left it. It's had another 10 minutes, still not cooked. That little bit is cooked. It's nice actually. Lovely. But middle's not cooked. So that's what I mean. It's not an exact science where your oven isn't my oven now. That's just the good food, and there's loads of people that have said it works every time. Well, it's not worked in my oven, so hey ho. So I put it to the top. Alexa, how long left on the timer? Alexa, set the timer for 5 minutes. And I'm going to do another 5 minutes and just keep a close eye on. What can I say, guys? This is the thing with cooking in the kitchen. It's sort of, sometimes it just doesn't work out how the timings that they give me, and it might not for you, but you just have to trust it. And that's why you're going to have to devote the day to the kitchen, a good piece of time. You can't walk away from it. It's sort of like minding a small child, you know what I mean? So that's what I'd liken it to, that you're going to have to keep your eye on it. So that's in there for another 5 minutes, and I'll just keep checking on it. I know it'll work. Just doesn't work to the specifications within the recipe, and that's absolutely fine. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to do quite a bit of editing on these. So I'm on about the pie now, all night, on about the pastry, where I'm cooking the chicken as well, so it's all a bit woohoo. But it'll be fine, it'll be fine. Alright then, guys. So the mixture doesn't look enough, so I've decided to add a couple more mushrooms. Let's say it's trial and error. So these can go in, they'll cook down, it'll be fine. So we've still got the lid on, fling them in, put your mushrooms in. I wish I could say to you, you know, well, this is the perfect amount that you need and so on and so forth, but I can't. Well, for one, you mightn't have a pie dish the same as me, and what I have learned about cooking and baking is that it's just, in the end, it comes down to confidence and looking at something and thinking, well, that's not quite enough there, so what's the worst that can happen if I add a little bit more? Nothing. These mushrooms, I've got the lid on, I'm just mixing them in. These mushrooms will cook down anyway, and as long as I keep that lid on, that won't lose the moisture. It's on a low heat. So as long as I do that, it won't lose the moisture, and that's good. So just remember, you're going to have a lid. Now I've got some mushrooms left, and I'm planning to do something with them. There was a guy who messaged me on Reddit. I told you about the nasty pasty on Reddit, didn't I? Anyway, some other guy who was nice gave me an idea to do and said maybe you could do some of mine on your channel. So I'm not going to mention him today because one, I can't remember his name. Not that it shouldn't be memorable, but you know what my brain's like, guys. But when I do what I do with the rest of these mushrooms, I'm going to mention him. But yeah, I thought that was nice. He came and spoke to me and was like, I've had a look at your channel. So he was kind and made me feel a bit better after having the nasty pasty telling me that. I was just trying to advertise my channel. Do you know, trying to help myself. Okay, I'm off. I'll be back in a bit. So as you can see, that's on a low heat and it's cooking down. Now you've got to make sure that you've got enough to fill your pie case. It looks massive, that pie case there, because it's going to have to go in there. So I think that's enough. As I say, that's 2 chicken breasts. I've had a little taste test. It's beautiful. I've added a little bit more of the chicken stock and I put a little bit more water in, but just keep checking it, and as you're lifting the lid off, I need to cook these juices out a bit now, you see, because I don't want it to be wet going in the pie. Not dry, but I don't want it too wet. But if you lift the lid off and you think it's drying out a bit and it's not ready, it's not where I want it to be, my spices haven't cooked out, I don't feel my stock's infused enough, then add a little bit more water and then put your lid back on. But that, I've added me up extra mushrooms, so that's that, like that. So that's just gonna, see how it's not much moisture, you don't want much moisture. So that now is ready. So I'm gonna turn that off and then I'm gonna put my lid back on and I'm gonna roll my pie lid, okay?